Welcome to Lesson 11 of the Learning Designer's Playbook. In this session, we will focus on creating a training curriculum that turns identified learning needs into structured, actionable programs. A curriculum is more than a collection of lessons. It's a roadmap connecting objectives, content, assessments, and activities. We will explore sequencing, assessment alignment, active learning, differentiation, and implementation. You will learn how to integrate real-world practice, feedback loops, and validation into your design. By the end of this lesson, you will be ready to create curricula that are coherent, practical, and results-oriented. Let's begin by defining the objectives for this lesson. This lesson is designed to give you practical, actionable skills for curriculum design. First, you will learn how to map learning objectives to curriculum modules so that each lesson addresses a clear need. Next, we will cover sequencing lessons in a way that scaffolds learning from foundational to advanced concepts. You will learn how to align assessments and activities to ensure that learners are measured on what truly matters. Active learning strategies will be highlighted to engage learners and reinforce skill acquisition. Differentiation will be addressed so all learners can access and benefit from the curriculum. Real-world practice will be integrated to bridge theory and performance. Feedback loops will be implemented to continuously improve learning outcomes. You will also learn how to pilot and validate your curriculum before full-scale rollout. Implementation strategies will ensure smooth execution. Finally, we will cover measuring success and linking learning outcomes to business impact. These objectives ensure that by the end of the lesson, your curriculum is coherent, practical, and measurable. We will refer back to these objectives throughout the lesson. Clear objectives guide both design and evaluation. Focusing on these goals helps maximize learning effectiveness and impact. Before we dive into curriculum design, let's recap Lesson 10. In that lesson, we focused on creating a training needs analysis survey to uncover performance gaps. We discussed translating organizational goals into measurable survey objectives. Question design, wording, bias, response scales, and distribution were all addressed. Piloting and analyzing survey results were emphasized to ensure actionable insights. We also covered prioritizing learning needs based on impact, frequency, and feasibility. Ethical practices and privacy considerations were highlighted to maintain trust. Finally, we explored how to report results and use findings to drive strategic training decisions. Lesson 10 set the foundation by identifying what to train and where training will make the most impact. Without a solid needs assessment, curriculum design may miss critical gaps. Today, we will use these insights to structure training that meets actual learning needs. Your curriculum should directly respond to the priorities surfaced in the TNA survey. Understanding the gaps ensures alignment between training and performance improvement. Keep these principles in mind as we move into sequencing, assessments, and active learning. This recap connects our survey insights to the practical steps of curriculum creation. The first step in curriculum design is sequencing lessons logically. Start with foundational knowledge before advancing to complex concepts. Mapping objectives to each lesson ensures alignment with intended outcomes. This mapping helps learners understand the purpose of each activity. Assessments should be integrated with lessons to measure mastery at appropriate intervals. Use both formative and summative assessments to monitor progress. Formative assessments guide learning and provide immediate feedback. Summative assessments confirm overall competency and readiness. Sequencing also considers cognitive load. Gradually increase complexity to prevent overwhelm. Group related topics together to reinforce connections. Incorporate review points or summaries to help learners consolidate knowledge. When designing assessments, focus on behavioral and performance-based evidence. Align activities to assessments so learners can apply skills immediately. This combination ensures that every lesson contributes meaningfully to outcomes. Thoughtful sequencing and alignment maximize both learning retention and real-world performance. Active learning is essential for engagement and retention. Encourage learners to participate in discussions, simulations, and problem-solving activities. Real-world tasks help learners apply concepts immediately. Interactive activities reinforce critical skills while making learning enjoyable. Use case studies or scenarios to connect theory to practice. Encourage reflection to deepen understanding and internalize lessons. Peer collaboration promotes knowledge sharing and diverse perspectives. Incorporate technology tools, such as quizzes or interactive modules, to maintain interest. Active learning also improves critical thinking and decision-making skills. Scaffolding tasks gradually increases difficulty and ensures mastery. Provide clear instructions and expectations for each activity. Monitor participation to identify learners needing support or guidance. Integrate feedback loops to correct misunderstandings promptly. Balance activity types to address different learning preferences. Consistently applying active learning methods ensures learners are prepared to transfer skills to real-work situations. Differentiation ensures that all learners, regardless of prior knowledge, can succeed. Offer multiple ways to engage with content, such as videos, readings, and interactive exercises. Provide optional enrichment for advanced learners and scaffolding for beginners. Adjust pacing, complexity, and support based on learner needs. Accessibility must be considered to ensure that learners with disabilities can access content effectively. Include captions, screen reader compatibility, and alternative formats where needed. Monitor learner progress to identify who may require additional support. Personalize feedback to address individual strengths and gaps. Encourage self-directed learning by giving learners choice in assignments or projects. Group activities should be designed to leverage diverse skills and backgrounds. Differentiation and accessibility work together to increase engagement and outcomes. Provide resources and guidance tailored to different learning preferences. Consider learning environment factors, including remote and hybrid delivery. Review curriculum materials for clarity and inclusiveness. A differentiated, accessible approach ensures equity, motivation, and effective skill acquisition. Practice is the bridge between knowledge and performance. Provide learners with opportunities to apply skills in realistic scenarios. Simulations, role plays, and case studies allow safe experimentation. Immediate feedback reinforces correct behaviors and corrects errors. Feedback should be specific, actionable, and timely. Multiple practice opportunities build confidence and mastery. Observe learners to identify gaps or misconceptions. Incorporate peer feedback to enhance learning and collaboration. Combine formative assessments with practice to gauge understanding. Adjust practice complexity based on learner performance. Encourage learners to reflect on their actions and outcomes. Use technology or interactive tools to simulate real-world tasks. Integrating practice with feedback ensures learning is transferred to the workplace. Document challenges and successes to refine future sessions. Real-world practice and feedback create competent, confident learners ready to perform on the job. Before full implementation, validating your curriculum is critical. Start by reviewing content for accuracy, relevance, and alignment with learning objectives. Pilot individual modules with a small group of representative learners. Observe engagement, comprehension, and workflow effectiveness. Collect feedback on clarity, difficulty, and relevance. Test assessment alignment to ensure that exercises and quizzes accurately measure learning objectives. Adjust content sequencing based on learner performance and feedback. Check for gaps or redundancies that may confuse or overwhelm learners. Validate multimedia elements, handouts, and supporting materials. Consider timing, pacing, and workload to balance learning demands. Engage subject matter experts to confirm technical accuracy. Document adjustments and lessons learned for continuous improvement. Communicate validation outcomes to stakeholders for transparency. Incorporate iterative feedback loops to refine curriculum continuously. Proper validation ensures a smooth, effective learning experience that meets objectives. Implementation turns your curriculum plan into action. Start with a detailed rollout plan covering schedule, resources, and participant communication. Assign instructors or facilitators to each module and provide training if necessary. Ensure all technology platforms and tools are functional and tested. Communicate clearly with learners about expectations, timelines, and outcomes. Monitor initial engagement to identify early issues or challenges. Provide support channels for learners and instructors. Track attendance, completion rates, and participation levels. Encourage instructors to share observations for iterative improvements. Be prepared to adjust logistics based on feedback or unexpected issues. Maintain consistent documentation to track changes and results. Communicate progress and successes to stakeholders. Align support resources with learner needs to maximize effectiveness. Monitor fidelity to instructional design plans throughout the rollout. Effective implementation ensures learners experience the curriculum as intended and achieve targeted outcomes. Measuring success determines whether your curriculum meets objectives. Identify key performance indicators linked to learning outcomes and business goals. Collect data from assessments, participation records, and performance metrics. Use both qualitative and quantitative feedback to evaluate effectiveness. Compare results to baseline measures or previous performance. Analyze gaps to identify areas needing improvement. Determine if learning transfers to job performance through observation or follow-up assessments. Use surveys or interviews to capture learner perceptions and application of skills. Evaluate engagement levels and completion rates to assess accessibility and interest. Share results with stakeholders to demonstrate impact and inform decisions. Document successes, challenges, and lessons learned. Refine curriculum components based on measured outcomes. Set up ongoing evaluation cycles for continuous improvement. Link measurement results to future training planning and resource allocation. Measuring success ensures your curriculum drives performance and provides actionable insights. Let's review the key principles of curriculum design. First, map learning objectives to specific lessons and modules. Next, sequence lessons to build knowledge progressively and scaffold skill development. Align assessments and activities to ensure measurable outcomes. Incorporate active learning strategies to engage learners and reinforce concepts. Provide opportunities for real-world practice with immediate feedback. Design differentiated instruction and accessible materials to meet diverse learner needs. Validate content with pilot groups to confirm clarity, relevance, and effectiveness. Adjust sequencing or content based on validation results. Implement the curriculum with detailed rollout plans and support structures. Monitor learner engagement and progress during implementation. Measure success by evaluating learning outcomes, business impact, and learner feedback. Document lessons learned and best practices for continuous improvement. Communicate findings to stakeholders for transparency and accountability. Apply insights from evaluation to future curriculum iterations. These principles create a coherent, practical, and results-focused learning experience. A highly recommended resource for this lesson is Julie Dirkson's Design for How People Learn. This book is widely regarded as one of the most accessible and practical guides for instructional designers. Dirkson focuses on how to design learning experiences that actually change behavior and lead to measurable improvements. She uses engaging examples and visuals to explain complex learning science concepts in simple terms. The book emphasizes active engagement, providing strategies for going beyond lectures to interactive, learner-centered methods. It also highlights the importance of memory, motivation, and practice in shaping effective curricula. Dirkson provides concrete tools for sequencing lessons so that learners build knowledge progressively rather than being overwhelmed. She gives clear guidance on aligning activities and assessments with real-world performance outcomes. Accessibility and learner diversity are integrated into her advice, making the book relevant across different contexts. The text also explores how to balance cognitive load so learners can absorb content effectively. Her writing style is conversational, making it approachable for both new and experienced designers. Real-world case studies illustrate how to apply theory to practice. Many instructional designers cite this book as their go-to reference for practical curriculum design. Using this resource alongside your T&A data will help you create training that is not only engaging, but also effective. By applying Dirkson's insights, your curricula will better connect to how people truly learn. To conclude Lesson 11, focus on finalizing your curriculum based on design and validation feedback. Pilot modules with representative learners to identify gaps or improvements. Refine content, sequencing, and assessments based on pilot outcomes. Implement the full curriculum with proper support and communication structures. Monitor engagement, progress, and completion rates to ensure effectiveness. Collect both qualitative and quantitative feedback to measure impact. Align results with learning objectives and organizational goals. Document lessons learned and areas for continuous improvement. Share outcomes and successes with stakeholders to reinforce the value of training. Plan ongoing evaluation cycles to maintain curriculum relevance and effectiveness. Encourage feedback loops to update content as performance needs evolve. Keep learners engaged with active, real-world practice and timely feedback. With a structured, data-informed approach, your curriculum drives measurable performance improvements. Your next step is Lesson 12, From Theory to Practice, applying the 70-20-10 model. Continue applying these principles to ensure impactful, sustainable learning solutions.